Hey guys, this is Alex from Machinima Union and Random Tree Productions, and I'm here with Rad. And you're all probably wondering, where the hell hasn't you been this past 6 months? It's been a really long time. The first thing we're going to talk about is the MU site ownership change and overall MU ownership change. Me and the rest of RTP are basically handing off Machinima Union to Rad. And these reasons being simply just because we just don't have the passion for it anymore. 6 months ago was when the last video was posted or something like that. Just to be honest, the whole team just kind of just stopped. All of us stopped. I stopped. I didn't try to, get people to start working because at that time school started back up. We're all high schoolers, for Christ's sake. So there was no more weeklies. There was no more Machinima sins. Basically nothing. And but yeah, the reason being, really the passion for it died. All of us have been doing our own projects. Like me and everyone at RTP has been doing live action shorts. We've been doing school projects. We've been working continuously on RS4, even some freelance videography work, photography, all those sort of things. Now that's what everyone else has been doing. But yeah, a few weeks ago, I just kept on looking at MU because I still had the account accessed on my Google Plus, and I just saw it. I just felt kind of irresponsible for just letting it die, because the entire goal in my eyes when I got it was to revive it for you guys and everyone else in the community, to revive it, to make it better than it ever had been before. To a certain extent, I feel like we did that pretty well, but as most of you can tell, it seems like that every single team can't keep MU going for a certain amount of time. I wouldn't say that that's true. It's just coincidence. If I can't run MU anymore, or if I can't do anything with it anymore, I should give it to someone that still cares. And I went through a lot of people. And overall, my favorite pick out of everyone has to be Rad. Rad was on our team before as a site dev, and he did a fantastic job with rebuilding and fixing the site, because when we got a hold of it, the site didn't even work. Like clicking and editing even the forums or something didn't even work. Rad did a fantastic job of fixing it and cleaning it up and making it more modern and more friendly. And I like how Rad sees MU. He's got the passion for it. He's got the will and the leadership capabilities of taking over MU. There's a certain type of person that can do MU, and I just feel like he's the best pick overall. And I'm going to be around. Me and Joey and kind of Bryce will be around for the next while to make sure that the transition between me to him is smooth and it works out great. And I'm here to make sure that Rad does not screw up to the point where I want to kill him. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not going to find out.
Not yet. No.
Not yet. Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess I should introduce myself. So everyone, I'm Rad. I've been with the website from the beginning. I was asked to join the website by Naga. I actually found out about it through him. He just sent me the original Machinima Union website when it first began, and I was like, hey, this is really cool. It looks like you've got a bit of a vision. I asked him, could I be an administrator if that's okay? I noticed you've got an admin team. He said, yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you anyway. I don't want to go over the history because it's too long. It was a pretty shaky beginning, continuation. I eventually joined Machinima Evolved at one point. Most of you probably don't know me, some of you may. I've always taken a very secondary role. I never wanted to be in the limelight. I like to think I'll still take that attitude, definitely still have it right now. I've been through a lot of iterations of these Machinima websites under a lot of different people, and I've sometimes, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, then I had nothing to do with anything going wrong, because to say so would not only be arrogant and wrong, but it'd be incredibly disrespectful. I've seen a lot of different sides of this, and that I could bring it a lot of new attitudes and new ideas. But I've also learned many things from the past and will continue to try and do so. One thing I really respect and appreciate that Alex did is he brought a lot of integrity back on the site. He made it feel a lot less, and not only feel, but it was a lot less about promoting those who run the site and making it less about them as personalities and more about the content that we were putting out and the people we were highlighting. Making it more about you guys, the Machinimators, and the people who love watching Machinima as well. While we do very much appreciate people who make Machinima, we also appreciate people who enjoy it and are passionate about the art form. With the respect and admiration of Alex's way of running things, I would like to move forward with a new style of leadership that very much tries to respect many of the things we've committed to and accomplished in the past. The first thing I want to announce is that Machinima Union, once the handover process is done, and right now we are operating this way, but Alex is overseeing us, and that will not always be the case. We are very grateful for Alex helping us with the transition, and RTP and everyone. We will be taking a more of a active and more singly led team. We'll still be a team. We'll still be working together. We'll still be making decisions together, but the final call will come down to myself. We've got a very good team, and many of them actually prefer this kind of method. To me, leadership isn't about being the person in charge and telling people what to do. It's actually about being the example. And I think that leadership is not a rewarding role in and of itself, being a leader. I think it's a humble role. You have to lead by example, and a lot of the work will be unrecognized until the very end when people see the final product. While being a leader and trying to take on the role of being the example, the person who works the hardest on the website, who's on more. With all that in mind, I understand that if I continue down that path of leading and running the website almost singly with a very lead from the front style of leadership, it will eventually wear me down. So while I'm doing that, I want to be coaching our team, making sure that everyone is really growing as people. I believe in coaching the character of the team, very much so, because anyone can learn any of the skills used to make a website. If you're a viewer watching this right now, you could go and spend some time, learn all the CSS, learn all the code, learn all the HTML, learn it all, make your own website and be very good at it. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will have the same character that we've developed and practiced and worked really hard on, like the ethics, the overtime, getting up at 4 a.m, 4 hours before work so that I can, get a couple of things done that are really important. One of the big changes will be the weekly will now be changed into a blog, and we will have a monthly video to complement that. This will be the first of many changes. We believe that a blog format better shows the quality videos that we are trying to feature. We'll also be covering more than just video releases. We'll be covering forge maps that we think would be usable by you guys. We'll be covering the broader news relating to Machinima. So for example, on our test blog post, if you like, we covered the Uncharted media blackout where the developers were issuing, or the publishers, I don't know, but essentially the people with the rights to do so were issuing copyright takedowns on videos that contained cinematic footage, and through a source we chose to keep anonymous, we found that out and reported it to users. So, you're uploading footage with cinematic footage, you would see that and go, oh, I should cut that out so I don't get a copyright strike from this other person. The news we'll cover is really about trying to help you out. In one of our weekly updates, we covered the Reach DLC pack, Memories of Reach. The Halo 5 DLC pack, Memories of Reach, which contained a lot of very useful tools for machinimators. And we want to cover more news like that. We also want to cover projects that are going into production. So if a show has just been announced that people are very interested in, we want to cover that. We don't feature every single machinima ever because it's not possible, but now we'll be narrowing that a little bit more. We'll be featuring videos first in the blog post. That's what you'll see when you open it up on machinimaunion.net. We'll be featuring videos that we believe you guys might find interesting, that we personally found interesting. We would like to feature content that people worked really hard on, that a lot of effort, time, and dedication is clearly shown in the result. And
or the quality, and how, and if we just enjoy it, if it's just simply good, if it's actually just simply just good and you enjoy watching it too, along with having you can see that a lot of effort is put into it and all those other things.
Mm-hmm. We believe that by featuring content we actually really enjoyed, and that we can say that we found enjoyable, we think other people would enjoy, that we'd share it around with people who are like-minded, who like machinima. We're not closed to any particular style or approach. I mean, some of the things we'll feature won't necessarily be even in HD, but if we like the dialogue, or if there's something we liked about it and we thought, hey, that was really good, I think someone would like to see that, we'll feature it. We don't have a very specific list that it has to follow, so don't try and find it because it doesn't exist. The monthly will be the new video format uploaded to YouTube, which is essentially the highlight reel of all of this. So that in that we'll cover anything that was mentioned in the previous weeks and anything current. So every week you'll get a weekly blog post, which is cool. So tune in every single Friday LA time, and Every fourth week of the month, we won't have a blog post. We'll have a video, and that will be posted onto the blog. So you'll see it if you're on YouTube or if you're on machinimaunion.net. We have a new site design, and we're taking new security measures. Most of the security measures are actually built in. ShiftTR has very good security setup, and the reason that people might not recognize that is it actually hasn't been a ShiftTR side issue or a hacking issue whatsoever. It's always been people promoted who shouldn't have been promoted, permissions being misassigned. It's been a site-side error. We haven't configured admins in the past correctly, and that's something we've already changed and that we're going to continue to build upon. We've removed the old ranking system, completely replaced it with a much more appropriate and much better for you guys system. Moderators will be an all-volunteer force, and that means that we don't necessarily even have them on Skype. We just see a user who's very helpful. We run a quick check on them, and we also keep an eye on all of our moderators. Don't get us wrong; we're still responsible for them and their actions, but they won't be officially involved in the main team. And we believe this is more of a self-governing approach to the Machinima Union forums. And we like that. We're going to limit what they can do. They won't be able to access parts of the site that they have been able to access in the past. The same goes for the admin team. We don't want the admins to have access to the back end of the site, so we're not going to give that to them. We've actually figured out how to fine-tune those security systems while still giving them the power to make the experience, the safety, and enjoyability of the site for all users very pleasant. And we've also got higher ranks that are less spoken about, like the superintendent, which is essentially a second me. Seeing as I'm the site owner, security is my highest priority sometimes. It's my responsibility at the end of the day. And the superintendent is someone who almost has as much power as me, that can diffuse any kind of exploit that a user might find or any kind of system, and just kind of watch my back when I'm asleep in Australia. For example, Alex and RTP are currently filling the role of superintendent. We don't intend to have many. I intend to have one or two, if that. And users no longer need to be assigned to a user rank. This was a system that may have been misinterpreted by all of the original teams, and we've changed it instead so that when you join, you're already a user. So what it means for you guys: a simpler system, a safer system, and you can trust us. One thing I want to cover is we never have access to your password. We can't get that. So if you're worried about us logging onto your YouTube channel, ShiftTR has a security policy and system and infrastructure where we cannot do that. And that's actually really good for you guys. And we're fine with that. We don't need your password data.
And ShiftTR, just real quick, has amazing customer support, and they're actually really good. I remember when I first got MU, I was all like, we're going to build a new site, blah, blah. That was completely unnecessary because ShiftTR is still actually pretty damn good. Very damn good.
Yeah.
So one thing that I remember when I first got MU was one of my first goals was to get as much of the original team back as possible. I felt like that overall they were some of the best working people at MU, like Zed, who I actually met through MU and is actually one of my favorite people to talk to in the community. And people like Rad and Jack and all those other people, I wanted to bring them back on. People that are not returning are Naga, Matt / Starfall Studios. Jack is not coming back as of right now. Zed is actually going to still be around, kind of. You'll see that in the future. Chris Cassidy or Solar Storm 25 is coming back. Eric, Pickleman, Machinima will not be returning. Epic Tomato, he's a new staff member. He's actually very intelligent and very mature for his age. Joey from RTP will be around with me, kind of being a consultant to Rad. He's helping out a little bit. Bryce from RTP is not really gonna do anything. Bryce also says hi. He told me to say hi.
I'd like to thank Alex for everything he's done for the site. He's really done so much for it. I'd like to thank Naga and the original team who really started this idea, and we want to see it fulfilled in the best way possible. And the first people I'd like to thank is people watching this video right now, the Machinima community, those who are still doing it. If you just started doing it, awesome. Let us know. We actually want to know what you guys think. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks on the first Machinima Union monthly update, head over to the website at machinimaunion.net. Should be a link right on the screen, right there. And
There you go.
tell us what you think, post in the forum, and check out the weekly update on Friday.